What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. And yes, we've got another mod for the Gladiator. As you guys have known, I've been mentioning I'm getting new wheels and tires, and we're starting the build slowly. And as with any mod, you kind of have to do a couple of supporting mods whenever you're doing something that the vehicle isn't meant to do, like run 37-inch tires. So I've already felt that the steering was a little bit soft at times, that you got a little bit too much bump steer for what you should be getting compared to this thing, which doesn't even get bump steer. This shouldn't either, because it's a brand new Rubicon. So honestly, I don't know why it does, but I think that a steering stabilizer will do a lot of help. And I've been looking at the research, and a lot of guys have said that a steering stabilizer helped them out a ton when they got their new 37s, and that they were getting a lot of shimmy and a lot of just uneven driving while they were going down the road. Once they got the steering stabilizer, then everything was a little bit better. So I figured, since I'm getting my tires, they should actually be here this week. I think I'm going to throw on the steering stabilizer first, just because I've already felt it a little bit soft. I like my steering a little bit stiffer. Everybody has a personal preference. That's why it's kind of hard to tell people like how good a shock is, because one guy likes it stiffer, one guy likes it softer. So everybody kind of looks for something different in their ride, and a little bit different in the feel of their steering. So to be honest, I like it a little bit stiffer. So today we're going to throw on a new steering stabilizer, and we will be doing a Fox steering stabilizer. I went with an adjustable one because I wanted to fine-tune my actual steering. Now I'm sure there's other adjustable ones on the market, but I do actually like Fox, and I wanted to go with the Fox one. So here we have the Fox ATS. So it's adjustable through shaft stabilizer. So through shaft means that the shaft actually comes all the way through. It goes from one side to the other. So I don't know if I can actually show you now, but it does actually start to come out. So you can see it slowly peeking its head out there. So you'll see once we actually get it on, it does go through both sides. And this one does have an adjustment screw right down here. It has 25 levels of adjustment. It starts off at 5, closest to the actual softest setting. So we'll drive it at the stock factory settings and see what it's like, and then we can adjust it stiffer from there. So yeah, it comes with everything you need, including a new bracket, which is right in here. There we are. So we've got the new bracket to mount it up. And it does use the stock hardware, the OEM hardware that's already there on your steering stabilizer. So now let's go rip out the old one, throw this one in, and let's see if it makes any difference. And I actually did pick up my shocks. So the steering stabilizer and my shocks are both Fox, and both of them were on sale. So that's why I got those first. I am kind of piecing it together because this is my second Jeep that I'm building. So I kind of know what I'm looking for and what parts I want. This was my first one. I kind of did it on a budget. This one, I kind of want to take my time and build it the way I want. So I do have the shocks, and I do have a little bit more insight on my plan on my build. So if you guys want to know a little bit more, and if you guys want to give me your feedback, then wait till the end of the video, and I'll give you guys a rundown of exactly what I want to do. So we've got an 18 mil on this side and on that side, and then we just got to remove the bracket. These last two bolts are super awkward because they're on the top right here by the drag link, so can't really get anything in there but a wrench. So yeah, gotta play around a little bit, but we'll get her out. At least they're not crazy long. So we will not be reusing the original bracket, which is here, but we will be reusing the original hardware. So those 3 bolts that we took off the bracket, and I believe we will be using the pinch bolt as well. I have to double check on that, but we might not. And first we've got to attach the new bracket to our stabilizer, and my stabilizer came with the mounting holes misaligned. It's actually really easy. You just stick a Allen head or like a hex in there, turn it, and she'll turn to wherever you need it. So that's pretty much it. There's an Allen head on that side, and you can adjust it. You don't have to worry about it getting looser or tighter, because this is what actually clamps that in there. So this piece here is what clamps this and this. So it's split there, and yeah. So you don't have to worry about that thing coming loose. You just want to line it up so that it's perfectly straight, and I think I got it as good as I can. You want to line it up with the shaft basically, just to get it as aligned as you can, so that when it's sitting there, it's not cocked up or down. So now I'm going to take the 2 supplied bolts, use a little bit of thread locker, and get the new bracket attached. And I think we just got to put these bushings in there, and we should be ready to go. And make sure when you install it, you put your adjustment screw facing out, which is going to be on the actual on the drag link side, or tie rod side I should say. All right, we've got everything installed, and now I got my buddy Vince to help me out. He's going to turn the wheel, and we're going to give it a quick look to make sure all the clearances and everything are good. So we'll stick a light here. All right, go ahead. Yeah, it's good. Hold it there. It seems like everything is good. Everything clears. All right. Yeah, you could put it back to center. And yeah, before we shut it off, let me just give it a quick feel check, just so I can see if I can feel a difference just right here. But honestly, it doesn't feel too much different yet. It is on the softer side still, but I want to leave it at the factory setting that it comes with from Fox, just to see what that setting is like, and then we can always go a little bit stiffer or a little bit softer from there. So I'm going to clean up all my tools, gather all my stuff, and let's go for a test drive, because I'm excited to see how this thing performs. So just driving with it for about 5 minutes, I can tell you it honestly reacts, like feeling wise, the same as the stock one. It doesn't take any much more or less effort to turn the wheel, but I have found that my bump steer is completely eliminated. Like if I go over any inconsistency in the road, a manhole cover, or any just kind of pothole or anything, it doesn't jerk the wheel back and forth like it used to. You'd go over a bump and it would go da-da. And it's not like a big deal because it wouldn't actually pull the vehicle, but you would feel it. And now you go over a bump and it doesn't really do anything. It just stays solid. And yeah, so far so good. I'm gonna keep driving. I have to go pick Justine up right now. So we'll drive for the next 10-15 minutes like this, and then I'm gonna set it a little bit stiffer just to see how that is, and see if that makes any bit of a difference, if it reacts any better or worse. And yeah, we'll go from there. So the stock setting is about 5 clicks from completely soft, and then you have another 20 clicks that you can go to the firmer side. So I think I'm gonna go 5 clicks forward to the firmer side and see how that feels. And then we'll still have 15 more clicks to firm it up if we need. But I think that's where I'm gonna want it, because right now it still feels kind of like stock, and I want it just a tad firmer. All right, so we're gonna do this in real time. I've never adjusted it myself before, so let's see exactly how long this takes to do. And I've got tiny little guy with me, but it should be enough. So the adjustment screw is right down there. So I'm gonna have to hold the camera up here just to make it easier for myself to actually see what I'm doing. Two, 3, 4, 5. All right. So it's actually quite easy to turn. It's not too hard, and you do get a good tactile feedback. And it's about, I'd say, I don't know, like a quarter turn between clicks. So you don't have to go a full turn. But yeah, let's see what 5 clicks does. Okay, let's see if that makes any bit of a difference. Actually, I can kind of feel it already. It does feel a little bit heavier, but in a good way. Like it feels more like stiff, if that makes sense. But let's go for a little bit of a drive. Let's see exactly what it's like on the road and when we hit some bumps, and see how it reacts there. So it's honestly better than I thought it would be. It makes me like want to drive this thing even more just because of how nice and stiff it is, because it's so confidence inspiring. Like you can let go of the wheel and you're not worried that if you go over a bump you're going to jump into the next lane. Not that it was like that in this before, or it's not even like that in the TJ, but it was never perfectly solid. Like every time you went over a bump it shimmied a little bit. Sometimes you'd go over an uneven patch of road and it would kind of like pull you to the left or pull you to the right, and it was never perfect. So now honestly it is really, really good. Even when I was braking before on the stock stabilizer, it would pull a little bit to the right and you'd have to hold the wheel and kind of like overcompensate just to get it to keep the vehicle straight. Now you can brake as hard as you want and the wheel doesn't even flinch, like it doesn't move. And honestly, like I said, it's a lot more confidence inspiring because it makes you just feel a lot more in control of the vehicle. And yeah, like I enjoy driving it that much more. Not that I needed a reason to drive this thing, this is like my dream vehicle, but at the end of the day you can always make things a little bit more to your liking and a little bit better. And this definitely improved the ride quality and I'm really happy with this mod. I can't wait to get the new tires on, and where it's at now at 10 clicks it feels great. And if I feel that it needs a little bit more after the new tires, well then we can compensate then with the extra 15 clicks that we have. Well, and as promised guys, we've got a couple of big ginormous boxes from Fox, and inside of these boxes are my shock absorbers. So this is what we'll be throwing on the front. It is a full resi with the adjustment. Let's see if I can get a shot of it. There we go. So these are the Fox 2.5 Performance Elite, and they have the high speed adjustment knob on the outside and the low speed adjustment knob on the inside, so you can really fine tune your shocks, get the ride exactly how you want it, and dial it in. And say you have more weight in the bed one day than another day, then you can dial it in to ride exactly how you want it, or ride exactly the same as without the weight. So these guys are the Performance Elite series, and they are a hefty shock. So these are the 2.5s, so you can see they are a big body shock. Like I think this is a 7/8 shaft, so almost a 1/8 shaft, and we've got a 2.5 inch body with the resis. So this is definitely going to be a hell of a setup. Can't wait to get this on, can't wait to try it out. But like I mentioned guys, I still have to get the rest of my suspension, which means the shocks, the springs, the control arms, track bars, all the good stuff. But we do have our front and rears. And fun fact, the fronts will fit a JL and a JT. The rears, you have to get specific. So these ones are for the Gladiator, just because they mount a little bit different. But these ones also have the high speed and low speed adjustment on them. Same kind of size on the shaft, same size on the body. And yeah, I just cannot wait to get these on there. Like I said, I'm still piecing the lift together. If you guys have some insight, or if you guys have some pointers on what lift I should go with, I have been looking at either the TerraFlex or the Clayton Off-Road Overland Plus. I am leaning more towards the Clayton, but I'm not opposed to getting myself the Alpine kit from TerraFlex. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys are running. Let me know what your experience is like. But personally, I want something that's gonna ride good on-road and good off-road, and I do not want greasable control arms. I just don't want to go under there and have to grease them. I want them to be sealed, and I want them to be the way that they are from factory, which is just a rubber bushing and sealed. And that's how the Alpine kit comes, and that's also how the Clayton kit comes. So if you guys have any kits that you guys have ran, or if you guys have any kits that you guys think I should look at, then let me know, because I'd be happy to take a look. I'm still piecing it together, so I'm still ordering stuff. And I don't know exactly when I'll have it all together, but once I do, then we'll put it together. But like I said, I want to build this one right. I want to build this one the way that I want it to. I don't want to cut any corners. So yeah, this is the stuff that we're gonna do, and this is the stuff that we have to source. So yeah, that is the build plan for this guy. And we do have our wheels and tires on order. I know I've been saying that for a bit, but they've been held up at the border. Our tires are here. I don't have my wheels yet, so I'm waiting for the wheels to come in. As soon as the rims come in, then we'll be able to put them on. I will be putting them on while we're at stock height, and I will be taking this thing off-road. I did get 37s. The tires that I wanted to get 38s, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get those. So the tires that I did choose to get don't come in a 38. So I got the 37 by 12.5s, and I think they are a 17, just like the originals that are on here right now. And I will be getting those hopefully by the next video that you see of the Gladiator. So we will be throwing on the 37s. I am stock. The only thing I did was a 1.5-inch Terraflex spacer in the front, and that's just to level it. I only did that for leveling purposes, just so that I don't have the rake. I don't throw much in the bed, and even when I go camping, I loaded up the bed and it still doesn't squat. So I like it how it is. I like it to sit level. And even when I do a lift kit, I want it to sit level. So I'll probably be throwing in a spacer, depending on the lift kit that I get. Some lift kits still give you that original rake, and I'm not a big fan of it. But I did get the 3.5-inch to 4-inch lift shocks. So my shocks are for a 3.5 to 4-inch lift. So I'm gonna be going with a 3.5 to 4-inch lift. And after doing all my math with the 37s and the 3.5 to 4 inches of lift, I'm still gonna be able to clear in here. I walked around with a tape measure and I made sure that like I can get in between all the lowest points, and I will still have a good buffer room just in case it flexes on a turn or I have to stop abruptly or something. So I'm not gonna be like scraping by, but we will be close. And this is my limitation. This is where I live. This is what I got to deal with. Now, this thing does come almost as tall as this on 5.5 inches of lift. So the TJ on 5.5 inches of lift is almost as tall as the Gladiator, and I think they have pretty much the same amount of ground clearance underneath though. It's actually very, very close. But that being said, I actually just went back and I went to go check the steering stabilizer just to see exactly like where it is. So I went all the way back to open, and open was only 6 clicks away. So meaning I think it was on 1 click when I first got it. I thought it was on 5. I thought 5 was the stock setting. I never checked. I just assumed. Don't assume. So I went for a drive on 1 click, and 1 click honestly felt fine. Like it wasn't giving me crazy bump steer. The bump steer was gone, but it was just as light as a stock steering. And when I went 5 clicks up, so at 6 clicks, it got nice and stiff, and that's where my preference is. That's how I like to drive. So just so you guys know, if you guys do get this steering stabilizer, it is on 1 click when you first get it. Maybe not, maybe check. And just go all the way open and then start counting the clicks and go to where you think you want it, and then it's pretty easy to just jump out and check it and just tune it at any point. I do plan on actually using that tunable function. So when I go off-road, I'm gonna open it all the way up and give me a nice easy steering feel so that I can go over rocks and it's not like too crazy. I will try it on my original steering, the way that I have it now, and see how it is. But I've been told that it's nicer to have lighter steering over the rocks, and I kind of agree, because you want to be able to just kind of throw it around stuff, and if it does throw your steering wheel, you kind of just want it to do that instead of breaking something and putting tension on stuff. And the shocks are also tunable. They're going to be tunable on high speed and low speed. High speed is like when you hit a speed bump and it moves the shock very abruptly. Low speed is when you're going through like a valley or a curve or something, and there's like a big dip in the road and you kind of feel the suspension like bottom out, or if you go over the top of a curve, over the top of a crest, and you kind of feel the suspension just like what's the word, I'm losing my words right now, but it's basically when the suspension is at full extension and you kind of feel like you're floating for a second. So it helps with that, and when you come back down, that's the slow speed. So we have both compression on low speed and high speed. So that should be very interesting, and I cannot wait to tune that in and get it exactly dialed in. But I think that's gonna cover it for today. So if you guys did enjoy today's video, if you guys wanna see more of this build, or if you guys wanna see me take this guy or this guy off-road, then definitely jump down there, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and please give this video a share, because I'm trying to hit 10K by the end of the summer. Hopefully with your guys' help, we can get there. But I hope to see you guys in the next video, and until then guys, ride safe out there. Peace.